Hello, good evening. Welcome to the third sports bar of the week. I'm Jason Cundy. I'm joined by the Aston Villa and Welsh legend. That is Mr. Dean Saunders. Dino.
Evening.
Dino.
How are you, Jace?
Yeah, I'm all right, matey. How are you? Well, listen, we'll have a chat.
All right.
Hold that. Football is back. We just watched the curtain raiser for the European season. The champions have done it again. Can anyone stop PSG again this season? 03717 223344. How important are games like European Super Cup? Dino would rather win that than the first league game of the season. I'm not sure. We've had a little bit of a falling out in the green room. Don't see it. 3 points are more important. Aston Villa, by the way, how good were they? They've got nothing to worry about if they play like that. In the end, PSG what PSG do? 03717 223344. And also, we talked about Villa's 17-year-old forward, Brian Maggio. Wow. What a performance from that young man. Even though he looks like a man mountain, he is only 17. Could he be the man to lead the line for England one day? Andy Townsend was saying that maybe Thomas Tuchel needs to have a look at him. Well, after that performance, no doubt about it, he has played for England the 17th. He will be on the radar. 03717 223344. And I'd love to hear from Aston Villa fans. Disappointing, I know, but that was a spirited performance. Honestly, I was very, very impressed with Villa. Come close, but in the end, quality just showed. We'll also be taking a look at Brennan Johnson, who's it back. Haaaaas and Gabby, disgraceful for those two after their comments earlier this week. We're joined by the man who's an expert on absolutely everything, Andy Lown, for a post-match review on today's solar eclipse. I don't know whether you guys know it out there, but there was a solar eclipse. Not many people spoke about it, actually. I couldn't believe it. I walked into the office, mate, and everyone was talking about solar eclipse. Like, I didn't know anything about it. No one mentioned it. Why didn't they? And we'll keep you updated with the latest transfer rumours rumours even with Andy Brassel. Get involved. We cannot do the show without you. 03717 223344. And a reminder, you can now watch us live on YouTube and Smart TV. This is a Sports Bar live here on talkSPORT. Yes, hello, good evening, good evening, all. Good evening, Mr. Dean Saunders. Just another little cat. There have been some pre-season friendlies. Arsenal 1, Como 1. Arsenal win 4-3 on pens. And Manchester United over at Croke Park against Leeds was also 1-1, but they win 5-4 on pens. But we're going to kick off talking PSG 2. Aston Villa 1 in the Super Cup final. Dino, how are you, mate?
Good. Before we start, I can't believe your hair. Steven Seagal.
It's my mates, this is it. My mates are battering me in the group, calling me Steven Seagal.
You look about 20 years younger.
It's nuts, isn't it? It is
unbelievable.
Nuts. It is nuts.
Have you put any Colin Bell on it?
No.
What have you got?
I tell you, I've got a little bit of product in it, just a little bit now. I'm starting to have a little bit of product.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's taking a little, trust the process, mate. I told everyone, it's I said, you're not going to notice it straight away. I didn't have a boob job, right? I had a hair transplant. And the boob job, you notice straight away. We should do.
Can you put Just for Men on it?
Mate, come on! I've told you this, right? Don't be at me with the dye.
Fibres.
No, don't be coming at me about the hair dye. Don't dye my barnet. Okay?
Well, I got black shampoo.
Well, why didn't you use it?
I do, but
what's going on?
The problem is when you go in the sun, your hair goes ginger.
Mate, you've got about 3 different colours up there.
It's the sun. It's shampoo.
It's got the grey bleeds into like a bit of dark and then a bit of ginge.
I know.
Why have you gone for 3 colours on your head?
I haven't.
Why have you gone for the trickle?
I haven't. It's the shampoo.
What do you mean?
Black shampoo.
Well, it's not working.
Well, it sort of does, yeah.
It's not. You're sure it's not the ginger?
Bits.
So it's not the ginger version of Just for Men.
Keep you guessing. Anyway, you look great.
No, it's come on, it's creeping. Anyway, enough from my barn.
Let's talk about Villa.
Let's talk about Aston Villa. I have to say, even though they were beaten on the night, the performance must be encouraging, and didn't have their full strength side. The boy Brian Maggio is going to catch a lot of headlines. Scored an unbelievable goal. Had 1 or 2 chances. And Dina, you and I are talking about it. You're an ex-striker. The thing that impressed me the most, he missed a couple of really easy chances. The one he actually took was probably the hardest of the ones he had. But he didn't. You know, sometimes you see strikers' face and the facial expression, you can see all over it one of anguish, regret. Got to do better. His facial expression didn't change. Whatever he missed, kept going. In the end, he scored a brilliant goal.
Yeah, I liked his movement as well. I was watching him in the box. You know, when the ball's out wide, you've got to find the ball as a striker. There's a lot of big strikers. The only time they score is when the ball hits them on the head. The ball actually finds them. They just happen to be in the box. The best strikers, Alan Shearer, Haaland,
Saunders.
They make. Well, I was taught to make a run, and if it don't come, you change your position again and make another run. Little movements in the box, like where you pull away from a defender, you get across them near post, and you've got to be on the move. and he was on the move as well as being an absolute brute force of a man who's just ragdolling defenders when they come near him. And then you give me the news that he can play for England.
So, yes,
What about that?
He was born in North London. He moved to Switzerland. Am I right in saying that? Look at my producer. I think I'm right in saying moved to Switzerland when he was very young. Played for a Luxembourg. I do apologise. Luxembourg it was. And he played for the junior teams for Luxembourg. He's actually got 3 senior caps for Luxembourg, but he must have only played in friendlies because he has declared himself English and has played for the England under-17s recently.
Hang on. He's played. He's got 3 full caps for Luxembourg.
3 senior caps.
So
they must. I don't know, Dino.
Were they friendlies?
They must have been because you can't. They must have been.
Jack Grealish done it, didn't he?
Yes, I think Declan Rice. Yes, it's not uncommon. It's not the first time this has happened. But the fact that he brought up in Luxembourg, his family moved there. His dad was a former footballer that played for many other clubs, Tranmere, Aldershot, plenty of clubs over here and across Europe and across over in Hong Kong. But he has declared himself English, England. So that, from what I saw tonight, is like wow.
17.
17.
What were you doing when you were 17? What were you doing on your own? At 17, to play in the Super Cup final. Anyway, regarding the game, I thought Aston Villa played really well, considering half the team's missing, probably the best half as well.
Yeah.
And I was reading up on it today. Unai Emery, that's 4 on the bounce he's lost.
Yeah.
Super Cups. And I thought today they were going to... I was thinking to myself, this is quite an important trophy, this, to win. To put in your cabinet at Villa Park.
Yeah.
Super Cup.
Yeah.
I think it's like Champions League winner against the Europa League, or used to be the
Europa League.
UEFA Cup. So 2 top European teams. And I couldn't understand. They've gone full strength, PSG. Full strength, apart from Dembele was on the bench. He come on second half. But Villa have lost Martinez, no Konsa, Watkins, Onana. Obviously, Tielemans has gone and Rodgers has gone. So they've gone there with half a team, put up a good show. Hemmings played well. I thought Buendia played well. There was a lot of good performances out there.
No, there was. I thought Villa were exceptional, actually.
We had a bit of a disagreement on the goal. I thought it was a great strike. He shifted it and hit it early, but it's gone in the middle of the goal. Goalkeeper's dived on the floor the wrong way. If he stands up, it hits him in the face. For me,
weight's going. The thing is, the Kravitskhelia takes it so early, and because the goalkeeper's weight is about to go through his left foot, it can't. His foot, if you see, it's about 2.5 inches off the ground. He can't shift.
That's why there's goalkeepers who play in the Premier League and goalkeepers who play in League Two. Their reflexes are not as good. He's hit the ball early.
Yeah. Hell of a strike, by the way.
Everything's quicker. Everything's speed of thought. And he's on the move when he hits the ball, which is what done the keeper. The keeper's on the move.
He's taken it earlier than most people thought.
And I'm going to say this. It's hindsight. I think Martinez saves that
maybe you're right.
shot.
Yeah, possibly.
But and you have to say, Luis Enrique, we were talking about it, to get superstars in order, working both ways, running fast forward and running fast back. He's done a magnificent job, and he's got to be classed as one of the best managers.
Well, he's probably the best manager in the world right now. And Pep obviously is out of work at the moment for whatever reason. Don't know how long he's going to be out, but probably right now it's hard. He's won 3 Champions Leagues, and to get to him back-to-back Champions Leagues with a side that plays in a league. I mean. There is a very different scenario because Dembele started, Player of the Year last year. Dembele only started 10 league games for PSG.
Amazing.
He only started 10. And they concentrate on the Champions League. They can afford to do that. Their squad's that good that they can afford to rest players in their domestic league. You can't do that. Aston Villa can't do that. Man United can't do that. Chelsea can't. When you're playing in Europe, whenever you're going to, you cannot rest your players in the league going forward to whatever European competition you're playing in.
Well, you can disagree with me if you like, and I know you're going to, right? But first game of the season for Villa is an important 3 points, right?
Yeah, of course.
But I don't think it's as important as this game.
No, I don't. I disagree with that. I disagree.
Well, PSG never rested.
No, but
why is John McGinn there then?
Because
he went to the World Cup.
It's considered a This is part of. It's a little bit like the Community Shield, okay? That's how I see this. It's a European version of the Community Shield. It's a UEFA competition. It's a one-off game. You earn your right to get there, as Arsenal and Man City did, for various reasons last season. One's won the FA Cup, one's won the league. These two have won the two prestige tournaments in Europe. It's a glorified friendly. That's how I see this.
I don't think it is. But if you lose the first game of the season, you can recover from it. You can't recover from that. That's gone now. You've lost. And they had a chance to beat them tonight.
I'm not so sure that Villa fans will. I think Villa fans will come away with that. I think they'll say we put in a great performance against what's probably the best side in the world right now. Okay, They come up short. They didn't have a full side. They were for various different reasons. Couldn't quite commit for everyone. Unai Emery's got big. The game, the first Premier League game of the season is bigger than that tonight, in my opinion.
I don't think it is, but I'm not going to argue with Unai Emery. He's done a brilliant job, and the fans trust him.
Yeah.
So the fans will be thinking, right, he knows what he's doing. But I'm looking at that thinking, and I have to say, they've lost Tielemans and Rodgers.
Yeah.
The fans are thinking, like, what's going on here? Some of the fans are looking, we've lost our best players again. Is it Gusan as well? He's gone, hasn't he?
Who's that, sorry?
Gusan, the big striker.
Right, okay, yeah.
He's gone to Palace. And obviously Dini's gone to PSG.
The three lads up front. I mean, Bendea and McGinn, I thought McGinn was excellent, as he always is.
Brilliant.
The young lad Hemmings. Yeah. They've got the boy Maggio up top.
Yeah.
I think Villa fans can come away going, right, okay, it's a new beginning, a new start. We've had to move on. For whatever reason, Villa have got to sell players. Morgan Rodgers, they got a huge fee from Chelsea. No one's going to turn that money down.
If I'm Ollie Watkins, I want to play in that game tonight.
Yeah, you probably do, but it's more important.
1,000 people there. Yeah, a rest.
But
what do you mean a rest?
If he's not fit and he hasn't got himself up to speed, it's just unfortunate timing. For me, I think this game potentially could have been played next week, right? And that's where it should have been played for me, next week. So give him another week's training to get himself up to speed. What do you think? 03717 22 As I said, Arsenal played at home against Como. They drew 1-1, but they managed to get past their 4-3 and pens. And Manchester United took on Leeds over in Ireland, and they won 5-4 on pens. But we're going to be talking about Aston Villa. Villa fans, you must be buoyed by what you saw. 03717 22 Should we go to a break now, Ryan, or should we get some calls? We're going to go to a break. Get your calls in, gang. 03717 22 Villa fans, what did you think of what you saw in Salzburg tonight? You are listening to Sports Warrior on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus. BigGambleAware.org.
We don't know. Because, do you know what I'm not buying, Gabby? I'm not buying this whole, Victor would have been a problem. I don't know if he would have been Vinny would have taken the number 7 shot, would he?
No.
We don't know.
I don't think that, but, like, Vinny Jr.'s character, like, he's coming to Arsenal. He wants Ballon d'Ors. He wants, do you know what I mean? Like...
What's wrong with that?
No, but I'm saying, and also, he's coming in on a lot more money than other players. If you're Saka and Rice and Ryan and Gabriel and Saliba, and he's coming in... Triple what you're earning.
Massive causes.
Well, if you've won a couple of Champions Leagues, right, and the league is running out your ears, then
as far as the other players are concerned, that doesn't matter.
Why not? Why does that not matter?
They're the players who just won you the Premier League.
But that's the player. But that's the marquee signing. Bruno G cannot be our marquee signing. He can't. We need a statement signing. That's what I would like.
You don't need a statement signing. You don't need any particular signing. You'll win this Premier League without it. And, people will say, strengthen from a position of strength. Well, just ask Liverpool fans what happened when they won the league, and they strengthened with people like Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz.
Do you know what my issue is that I do think we're going to win the league this year, and I think we're stronger. But I think of the fact that when you're in these kind of positions, like a Man City were when they first won the league, when they beat United on goal difference, you have to capitalise. You have to know that your future depends on this 2, 3, 4 year period.
Yes, there's going to be a music theme here. It's anything to do with space. Because, of course, there was a solar eclipse, in case you didn't know. It was weird, though, Dino. The light, wasn't it? Very eerie. Obviously, because like 95% of the sun was missing.
You can call me grumpy if you like.
What do you mean?
I could have walked up the top of by the Shard.
Yeah.
And seen what everybody else was looking at.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be bothered.
No, you wouldn't turn around. You'd rather go and have a glass of wine.
No, I walked up the road and turned into talkSPORT.
Yeah.
But I only had to walk another 30 yards further where everyone stood.
I'm not going to lie, I didn't look at it.
And I thought...
But you shouldn't look at the sun, though, Dino. You need special glasses.
But I should be around for the next one.
Don't think you will be, mate.
60 years.
No, you won't be, mate. You and I'll be both gone. I remember the one back in... Is it 90?
I remember 90? That one, yeah.
99. 99 was it? I remember that one. I mean... Yeah, and we can speak to Andy Lound a little bit later on. For certain people, it's very exciting. I get it. It's a once in a generation to see the clips.
Yeah.
I mean, seen one, you've seen them all, haven't you?
Yeah, I just need a pint of enthusiasm for it. Can I have a pint of enthusiasm, please, for the eclipse?
That's Dean Saunders. I'm Jason Cundy. I listen to the Sports Bar. Still to come. We're getting your calls on tonight's Super Cup final. 03717223344. First, though, as we discussed, one player really caught our eye is the 17-year-old Brian Maggio, who scored Villa's goal, making him the youngest ever player to score in the Super Cup final.
Begin with an in-swinging ball. Up goes Maggio!
There you go.
The 17-year-old has scored!
There you go.
Can you believe it? What a moment on his Aston Villa debut. Remember the name, Brian Maggio.
That is not an easy finish. And he fires it into the roof of net beyond Safanov. Well played, young man. He's had a storming first 45 minutes.
Yeah, the 17-year-old scored Villa's only goal on the night and gave Marquinhos and Pacho a nightmare all evening. Here's Andy Townsend, Adrian Durham's thoughts on him at full-time.
Could he possibly in time, and I'm asking you to predict the future here, could he possibly in time be that long-term replacement for Harry Kane?
Well, do you know what, Adrian, as they were coming out for the second half, I was looking at him and thinking, I wonder what Tuchel's thinking tonight watching that.
Wow.
I wonder what...
Already?
Well, because every now and again, when young players come along that are different and they've got something that you look at that you think others might not be able to handle, what do? Do you wait a year, 2 years, 3 years before you start introducing them, or do you get them going as soon as you can?
Adrian Durham and Andy Townsend there, the thoughts on the young boy Brian Maggio. And I get completely what Andy Townsend's talking about. He's only 17 years of age. He's a giant. Physically, he's beyond his years, so he can handle that part of the game. His awareness, his movement, his touch. I think everything about his first time performance was excellent. But I want to do some tactics with Dino. Right now, you were watching him very closely, Dino. I saw you taking notes. So if you can have a quiet word with Maggio now, what would your bit of advice be? Well,
he's 17, isn't he? So you've got like someone you can mould a little bit. So I would say you've got to keep it simple with him. Obviously, his first job is to score goals. If you don't, the game's littered with strikers who don't score, by the way. So if you don't score, forget the rest of it. You're up there. You've got to get your fair share of goals. Second job, do you work hard enough? So are you hard to play against? So would you like to...
Ticks that box, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't like to play against him.
No.
What he done tonight,
yeah,
he's putting himself about. He's using his body
he's a bit
strength.
raw, understandably.
He made a mistake for the goal. Obviously, tried to head it, missed the header and give the ball away. Right. Well, what are you doing back there, by the way? You know, as a striker, I never went that far back. I don't think ever.
No.
He's right on the edge of his own box. But second job, do you work hard? Third job, when we're in trouble and we need to get out of our own half, we need you to either win flick-ons or get hold of the ball with your chest, your thigh. You have a scrap with the two defenders.
He did all of that.
He done that.
He's done all of that, yeah.
So I would say to him, we got to work on all them things.
Yeah.
Your movement in the box, we'll work on that. Your work rate, I can't help you. Right? If you're lazy and you score, people will still sign you. Right? But if you keep scoring and you're lazy, I would sign a striker who gets 30 goals who's lazy.
Yeah.
There's not many of them.
Well, there's been a few by now.
So you've got to be the first line of defence. Tactically, you need to teach him how to stop the back four coming out to get him past him.
But he's a baby. He is a baby.
You can mould him. But number one, just concentrate on his finishing.
Yeah.
He missed a couple of headers tonight.
But do you know what, Dino?
He's in the right place.
Here's the thing that impressed me the most. I said this a couple of minutes ago, and I'll say it again. It did not get him down. His facial expression, he did not let that affect his game. He kept getting into those areas. And it's a truism in football. You know, you got to get in there to miss them.
Yeah.
You know, and okay. The good part is he's in those good areas, and he's had some good chances. The bad part of it is he couldn't quite get that finishing touch. The hardest chance he had was the goal. Now he's I think it was a Paco that he's got him. Paco's against him. He's not even looking at the ball. It's a brilliant
great finish.
And it's upper body strength as well. But listen, he looks like a star and a mate in Villa fans. You must be very excited. 03717 22 334. Let's go and speak to Tom, the first caller of the evening. All right, Tom?
Hi, Tom.
All right, Tom?
How we doing, gents?
Up the
Good.
Villa. Up the Villa, Tom. I thought Villa played really well.
And I did.
Yeah, I thought we were brilliant, to be honest, all things considered, with obviously the England boys and Martinez missing, the players that are left. Obviously, Maggio will get the headlines.
Yep.
But there's other young players there, Hemmings,
Yep.
and the lad that come on, Alisson, who's been there since last season, but he's been injured a lot and took a lot of time to sort of integrate, but he is rapid. And another really promising young player, but obviously this Maggio, come on, he is the next big thing.
Looks like it.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult job now for Unai Emery because obviously he's got Ollie Watkins there. So when do you put him in? You know, like, or do you bring him on? His name slips from my mind now. He's going to Saudi. John Duran.
Duran.
Yeah, he showed the same promise, didn't he? He was scoring ridiculous goals, and then Unai Emery was not like playing him in Europe and then leaving him out on a Saturday or the Sunday.
That's right.
And he started getting a hump.
That's right.
So he's just binned him.
Yeah, well, I think Duran, he was a complete head case. I mean, he's had 7 clubs in 18 months since he left Villa. He's now at Benfica. He was scrapping with his own centre-half last night and nearly got sent off in his debut. So he was really hard to manage. I think Emery managed him quite well, considering. And as soon as the money was offered for him, got rid of him for a massive profit. So,
yeah. By the way, if I'm Thomas Tuchel, if I'm Thomas Tuchel, you've got to give him a cap. You got to ring him up tomorrow. Hey, there's only Harry Kane, Ollie Watkins, and then you're struggling.
There is a bit of a dearth. But look, let's not. He's 17 years of age. I understand the sentiment that Andy Townsend was talking about. Totally get it, and I agree with him. However, there is going to be let's let the boy learn. Let the boy enjoy his football. But Thomas Tuchel.
His name's Brian. He's English.
Yeah.
Give him a cap.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, thanks for the call, Tom. Let's go and speak to Giles, who's a Villa fan. Up the Villa. Right, Giles.
Hi, Giles.
How you doing? A point you just said, Dean, about how he dealt with Duran. He has developed so many players, but the problem is we'll sell this kid in 2.5 years' time for £120 million. That's the problem we've currently got with these stupid financial rules. We are tied. We develop these amazing players, and we sell them. Look at Rodgers.
It's not right, is it? It's not. You're not supposed to. No. It's like they're on about Lewis Skelly now at Arsenal. I mean, he played in the Champions League final, and they're on about having to sell him. This system is. If you have to sell, Chelsea done it with Conor Gallagher.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
If you're having to sell your best young players,
with Mason Mount,
it don't work.
No, it defeats the whole point of having an academy. It's not right. The fact that the most money you can make, it comes as pure profit. This is an expression now. We never thought we'd be saying pure profit 5-10 years ago, but it's a thing, and this is why clubs. I feel for Villa, and also don't forget Elliot Anderson left Newcastle. Right? They probably didn't want to sell him. He goes to Forest, turns into a £100 million player. They got no sell-on fee.
Do you know what, as well? Like the Aston Villa fans, right? They've got grandkids, kids, and they look at the young players and say, like, hey, if you get into Villa's academy, look, you could end up playing for the Villa.
Yeah.
The dream is to play for Villa. But they get there, as soon as they get there, gone.
I feel for Villa fans. I feel for Newcastle fans. I totally do. Giles, but you must have been really impressed and going into the new season having some, because let's be honest, you've sold some of your best players. You've seen Tielemans move on. We mentioned Morgan Rogers. There's 1 or 2 others that have moved on in the past 2.5, 3 years, whatever it may be. But you must be really encouraged by what you saw.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a saying, you know, we trust, we know he'll make the right decisions. His hands have been tied since he's been at the club, so he knows how to wheel and deal. He makes Harry Redknapp look like a junior, because what he's pulling out of the bag at the moment with the funds he has, and he's staying at the club. Emery's not going anywhere. Can't get him out of that club at the moment.
No, but is there a... Do you know what, though? Do you know what, Giles? You're right. But there may come a point where Unai Emery is frustrated by the restraints that he is placed under, having to sell players, having to move them on, and not being able to consistently build something because it might be proven impossible. You know, if you have to sell your best players every single season, like we've seen with Newcastle, like we've seen with Villa, there may come a point where Unai Emery says, I'm sorry, but I need more than this.
Tell you what, Giles, would you swap him for any other manager?
No.
I wouldn't.
No, and I don't think, other than Liverpool, United, City, he won't go to any other club, because every other club, apart from the big 4, 6, whatever we call them these days, their hands aren't tied. So what's the point of going to any other club? You won't go back to Arsenal. You won't go to Spurs. So I think he's quite safe in this country. I don't think there's another better option than what we've given him.
Well, I can't see the Aston Villa physio telling Unai Emery to take Ollie Watkins off because he's tired. Can you remember that? The sports scientist at Chelsea telling Maresca to take...
He's got the old red zone. When you get in the red zone, Dino.
Ridiculous.
You get in the red zone, you've got to protect your players, mate.
Ridiculous.
Got to protect your players. Gilo, listen, appreciate the call, bud. Safe journey home wherever you're going. Keep them coming, gang. 03717 223344. Going to continue taking your calls. He's Dean Saunders, I'm Jason Cunning. This is the Sports Bar live here on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18 plus. BigGamblerWare.org.
What's going on, mate? You've got Champions League football, you're selling your best players. Absolute shambles.
The financial fair play rule.
Oh, Spurs.
Off.
You're not Spurs.
Can we put some concerts in your stadium?
Well, look, you dig me out all the time last season about Spurs and Beyonce this and Beyonce that.
Now it's helped you?
Yeah, mate, we got the money. We got the cash.
Yeah. Don't make me laugh.
You're selling Morgan Rogers.
We got no choice.
70 mil.
We got no choice.
You got Champions League football.
What can you do, though, if the rules say you have to sell? Do you know what I mean? You have to sell?
You should be banned from the Champions League.
Okay, but
you should be banned.
Okay.
You sold Tillmans, you sold Morgan Rogers, Constance wants to leave. You can't sell your 3 best players and then expect to be in the Champions League. You should be kicked out.
We've signed some very good players as well. Manzambi from, what's funny? Manzambi, star, Swiss international at 20 years of age.
Yeah.
We've signed João Gomez from Wolves. Scored a fantastic goal the other night against Bayern Munich. He toe-poked it, Jamie, into the corner. It was fantastic.
Come on, mate.
Garnacho as well, point to prove.
Oh, do me a favour.
So, we'll be all right. We'll be all right, man.
Garnacho.
We've got the best manager in the league.
No, I love Emery. But if you ain't careful, he'll leave.
Really?
Yeah, he'll leave.
Why?
Because he wants to win.
We won last season.
Yeah, I know, but then you've sold your best players.
He'll understand the frustrating rules.
Mate,
he's got owners.
Eventually, he'll go, like Eddie Howe's done with Newcastle. He'll go, no, I've had enough.
Isn't that what you want? And you're like your mob and like this so-called top 6 they call. You want that, don't you? You don't want
big six.
But you don't want Villa and Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? Being a bit of a pain, do you? You want like you can't.
Oh yeah, keep you there. Keep you there.
Good evening. Thank you very much for your company. Ding Songs. I'm Jason Cundy. This is the Sports Boss. Still to come, more of your calls on tonight's action. 03717 223344. But first, a bit of transfer news involving my club, Chelsea. Chelsea apparently have told Manchester City they have a deadline of 5 p.m. this Friday to make an offer for Enzo Fernandez, who Chelsea value at around about 120 million. He's still got 6 years left on his contract. What do you think of that, Dino? I mean, there's been rumours. Enzo Maresca has gone. From what we've heard, Manchester City are interested. Real Madrid apparently are sniffing around. They dropped that. 120 million that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
What player were you talking about?
Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, he can do a bit of everything, can't he? But I'd like to see him in a stable team where there's not. I mean, Chelsea have spent $2 billion on players nearly, haven't they?
Yeah.
And it's been turmoil. He'll
come good this season, though, Dino.
Well, I think you're right. I think when you name I heard what you said in midweek, and it created a bit of a storm, didn't it? But when you name the front three, Palmer, Rodgers, and Pedro,
yeah.
You think, well, that's a good start, isn't it?
And listen, there's plenty of work to be done. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but
does Pedro get enough goals, and is the goalkeeper good enough?
Well, that's the one area where you go, okay, that is the one concern. But all over the pitch, I made the point the other day, Chelsea. There's things that can be improved about Chelsea's season that I think are easily done, and discipline is one of them. Discipline last season was nothing short of a discrace.
No, I agree.
It was almost every single week or every other week, Chelsea get a player sent off. And the amount of times we had a player sent off and lose the game, you can't be giving points away like that. You can't be picking up red cards for fun.
Well, Jace, I've managed football teams, and I used to say to the players at times when I had a small squad, listen, if you start getting silly yellow cards,
we love a silly yellow card.
I'm going to fine you.
Oh my God! I mean, the silly yellow cards, and Liam. I know we're a young squad, but Liam Delap away at Wolves in the League Cup, he's on the pitch 5 minutes, he picks up 2 yellows. They're the sort of things where that's why Jordan Henderson's been bought in. But 120 million pounds, that's what Chelsea value Enzo Fernandez. They have until Friday apparently to make an offer or do something about it. I think Chelsea just basically saying, can't you put up or shut up if that is the case? 03717 2233. Let's go back to Villa fans who lost the European Super Cup tonight against champions of Europe, PSG. No disgrace, by the way, played very, very well. Keep them coming. Let's go and speak to a Chelsea fan. Tone has dialed 03717 2233. All right, Tone.
Right, can I just say a couple of things? 15 chances tonight for Villa to score, 12 chances for PSG. Unai Emery attacks. I hope Arteta was watching because he doesn't know how to play PSG. He just knows sidey, tappy football. They won't have the cheating opportunities in the coming season with all these free kicks and corners because the referee's going to pull them up on it. And I think Man City will be second, Man United will be third, and Liverpool will be fourth. And the reason why he's got Watkins and the reason why Emery's got the other guy tonight, the 17-year-old, is because every week they'll be playing in the European Cup and they'll be playing in the Premier League. He'll rest them and alternate them. I trust Emery with my life. I wouldn't trust Arteta to show me how to walk across the road.
No, Arteta's just won the Premier League, Tone.
They've just won the Premier League at the fourth attempt.
Yeah, I know, but
so preoccupied with the Champions League this year, they'll cock up the Premier League because they won't be able to balance two balls at the same time.
Well, if I'd have said to you when they appointed Arteta, he said to the board, "Give me 5 years, we'll win the Premier League and we'll win the Champions League." And by the way, they drew in the final Champions. I know they got beat in the end, but they actually it's another step. Yeah, but it's another step forward for Arsenal.
Negative. It was side to side. They were 1-0 up and they didn't go and get a second or a third.
Well, I've got a different opinion to you on this one, right? It's like, for me, it was like fighting Mike Tyson. If you're going to go out and start trading punches with Mike Tyson, he's going to knock you out. So what he done was jab and move, covered up, and try to beat him in the last minute.
40% of Emery's team wasn't there tonight. 40%. They've all gone. You mentioned all the names.
They got beat, though.
Still gave them a run for their money.
But they got beat.
They got beaten, of course they did, yeah. But I'm telling you about chances and opportunities. I'd rather play for Emery than I would for Arteta.
What's your beef with Arteta? Tone, what's
I just think he's overrated, and we're going to find out this season he will not be able to do what he did last season, because City will be better, Chelsea will be better, Man United will be better, Liverpool will be better, and you can't discount Aston Villa.
Yeah, look, it's going to be.
They'll all take points off each other.
Yeah, look, the second season, once they've got a target on their back now, Arsenal. And they've been good for the last couple of seasons. They've come close. And they thoroughly deserved it. They were the best. Yep. And you're right, maybe things will change with set pieces. Maybe we'll say that referees tightening up. Maybe Arsenal will not be able to take advantage. But they took advantage of and got to give them credit. Well done them. They were the best side of the country. I've got no problem whatsoever.
That's history. You're only as good as your last game. That's all over. This is the next season I'm talking
about. I just like his playing staff he's got, and you look on the bench, all of them, every single one of them, bear in mind he picked up a group of players that weren't very good professionals, some of them, and he's got rid of them all. All the players he's got at the club now, there's not one bad attitude.
No, and you can't, if you don't work hard, you don't buy into Arteta, you don't stay at that football club. It's as simple as that. Yeah. And he's created that culture. One thing I will agree with Tony, I'd love to know what Arsenal fans, because most of them will certainly been watching their team draw 1-1 with Como today, win on penalties. I think there will be, on reflection, a little bit of regret about how they went about that Champions League final. I think there must be a little bit of, did we show and put our best foot forward? Did we really give, did we cause PSG enough problems? I take your point about the jabbing and trying, because you're up against PSG. But Aston Villa showed, and you can get them. You can actually get them. Villa had a couple of really good chances, right? And I wonder whether Arsenal, if they play PSG in the Champions League final next season, I bet you see a different Arsenal. I bet you see a different approach.
Right, he had two options in the final, didn't he? You either say, right, let's leave the two centre-halves wide apart, let our full-backs bomb on, and let's try and out-punch PSG. Let's try and outscore them.
But I'm not saying
two ways of doing
I'm not saying that you've got to. That has to be your technical. But go and have a bit more of a go. Be a bit braver. Be a bit braver. Well, and they weren't. I don't think Arsenal were brave enough.
But in his head, he thinks that they're a better team than Arsenal.
Well, they are.
So,
they are.
So he's gone, right, I've got to find a way of winning this game somehow. So he's chose to go down that route of finding a way to win the game. They drew. If you just said to him before the kickoff, do you know this is going to go to extra time? Would he take that now? He would have said, yeah.
But when you're 1-0 up, Dino, right? It's all well and good. When you're 1-0 up, could Arsenal got the second goal? Could they?
Havertz missed the chance to go 2-0 up.
Could they have been a bit braver over the course of the 90 minutes and extra time, mate? And I think the answer to that question is yes.
Well, I wouldn't say it's braver. Just tactically, he decided to do that. Havertz had a chance to make it 2-0, didn't he? And they would have. You've mugged them. He was trying to mug PSG.
You're right. And on another day, he might get away with it. But I still think in a one-off game like that, when you take the lead, could they have been? And like I said, I think if Arsenal get the Champions League final, and I think they'll go deep in it again next season, because they've shown what a good side they are. Well, if you see a different Arsenal. Keep the calls coming, Villa fans, and any Arsenal fans out there. 03717223344. Next up, though, we're going to hear talkSPORT's Max Scott. It's caused a bit of a stir here on talkSPORT today. Keep them coming. 03717223344. History is going to repeat itself. No, I never go out on a limb and talk like this about Chelsea. I said Arsenal win the title for the last 3 seasons, and eventually they did. I'm going Chelsea. You Gooners, you should be fearful of Chelsea.
This is it, you see. He's been down the Wimpole clinic, and all of a sudden...
What has he been eating in the Maldives? That's what I want to know.
I don't think it's that.
Now, what has he been smoking?
Do you know what it is?
He's talking absolute guff.
It's everything, no, Jay. It's everything combined.
Everything about him I hate already.
This is...
His hair, his tan...
His hair. Yeah, no,
the nonsense he's coming out with early doors. Like, he's been back for one show, and he's come back and said, Chelsea are going to win the title.
Yeah, people go away. Right, I think people, as soon as you put a bit of hair back on someone's head, and look, let's be fair, that is a beautiful transplant, right? It's up there. You know, when you think about footballers that have had transplants.
Do you know what, mate? I've seen signs.
It's good, isn't it?
It's all right.
It's a good transplant.
It's not bad.
And I think he's now. Yeah, he's definitely died.
He's definitely died.
Yeah, he's definitely died. Of course he has. But he's now just like a new man. He's got this sort of housewives' favourite thing going on. He knows that his sex appeal's back. He knows. I can tell. You know, he's sitting there. He's obviously been in the gym when he's been in the Maldives. He's got himself a bit of colour. He's got the beautiful barnet now.
Bit of a dilf.
This is it. Yeah. And then I was talking about him being the housewife's favourite, and he said something like this. Do you know what he said to me? He went, the problem is, if you are the housewife's favourite, it's generally the older girls. You know, you don't really necessarily want the old. I went, you happy to be the old? Do you like the older girls? He went, no, not really.
Corinthian Casuals are a team in the Combined Counties League Premier Division South. Despite that, they're one of the most important clubs in world football. Here's why. The club was formed in 1939 as the result of a merger between Corinthians FC and Casuals FC. Now, Corinthians FC were founded in the late 1800s when the FA's top brass were sick of getting pumped by Scotland every time they played them. As a result, a man called Nicholas Lane Jackson set up an amateur side which would bring in the best players who could all play for the national side. And it worked. It wasn't long before England would dominate in the international fixtures they played, and it was largely down to Corinthians. In fact, in 1894 and 1895, they played consecutive games where Corinthians provided the entire England 11. But the thing is, the players refused to play professional football. They didn't believe in it. They wanted to spread the values of sportsmanship, competition, and played for the love of the game. It also helped that most of the players were Oxbridge graduates who didn't need the money. But instead of entering the league and cup competitions, they played exhibition football and toured the world, bringing the beautiful game with them. And it was this which spread the game throughout the world and made it so popular. Most famously, in 1910, they travelled to Brazil. And the locals in Sao Paulo were so impressed, they started their own team under the same name. Yes, the same Corinthians who won the FIFA Club World Cup in 2021, one of the biggest football teams in Brazil. Now, they were global superstars, and despite not being professional, Corinthians drew in the crowds. Everybody wanted to play them, everybody wanted to watch them. So much so, they regularly played the winners of the FA Cup in what eventually became the Community Shield, winning most of the time. They actually inflicted Manchester United's worst defeat, 11-3, a record which still stands to this day. Now, fast forward to today, Corinthian Casuals still don't pay their staff or players. The ethos of sportsmanship is still at the heart of everything that they do. And even though they're a side in the lower leagues, if you make the trip to King George's Field in Tolworth just off the A3, you'll most likely bump into Brazilian Corinthians fans who often make the pilgrimage across the globe just to watch their founding team play.
You are listening to the Sports Bar here on talkSPORT. Cundy and Saunders remind you of a brand new Sports Bar podcast, which is available now, featuring all of the best bits of the show. Still to come tonight, we're joined by Andy Brassel to get the latest transfer rumours. Return of the midnight train. You know what to do, gang, at midnight. 03717 223344. No sport, no politics, no religion, nothing too serious. Other than that, anything goes. But now, the conversation that has caused a storm across talkSPORT today. Here's Max Scott on Breakfast Show this morning, who revealed his top 10 biggest clubs in Britain.
How can Spurs be a Big Six club after back-to-back 17th places and winning a domestic trophy in 2008? Manchester United and Liverpool are clearly the biggest clubs. Like, it's as simple as that. 20 league titles, multiple European Cups, particularly Liverpool. Celtic are number 3 for me. 56 league titles, absolutely massive fan base, you know, the most passionate, I think you could argue, and they've obviously won a European Cup. Arsenal are 4th, 14 league titles. I'm putting Forest after that. Brian Clough is arguably the greatest manager of all time, alongside Sir Alex Ferguson. Then I'm going Villa at 6, huge fan base. 7, Everton. 8, Newcastle. 9, Rangers. 10, Manchester City.
That's Max Scott. Make of that what you will. Do you know what? There's funny things, because if you really want to rattle a football fan, the way to rattle them the most is by saying their club is not a big club, right? You get under their skin straight away.
I think it's a difficult conversation now because money's taken over.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, for example, Chelsea, Abramovich injected millions and took Chelsea to the top.
Took us to the next level, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's no denying it.
I would have said that the size of a football club is determined by history and fans, the amount of fans they've got going in the stadium all around the world.
You can't have Celtic and Rangers in there.
Well,
you can't. You simply can't.
Well, I'd like to see that. They're obviously massive clubs, but they'd have to be tested in the Premier League.
Yeah, but you can't have them in there, can you?
No, but if they were in the Premier League, yeah. Now I know what you're saying.
You can't.
No, it's a. But you do get the up people's noses when you say the football club's not. So what are you saying then?
No, that's what
I know you're trying to get me to say it.
No, I'm saying
you're not having Rangers and Celtic in there.
No, you can't, can you?
Well,
you can't, mate. Come on, let's
well, the argument.
Max Scott saying how many titles Celtic have won. I mean, Palace could win the. Come on, Palace go up Scotland, they'd win the top.
Well, you could say it about TNS, couldn't you? In the Welsh League.
Yeah, how many have they won?
Every year.
Who's the one?
They win it every year.
Who's the biggest? Is it Glentoran
in Ireland?
Who's the one? Who's the biggest club in Ireland?
Yeah, so they'd have to be tested in the Premier League before.
You can't have them, mate. You can't. You can't have. How's Forest in there?
What, Forest? Well, Forest have got the history.
I've just been told. Someone just told me this. My producer just told me this. They got more European Cups. They have league titles.
That's what I mean. The history tells you.
Listen, of course, they had 2 great seasons.
But money spoiled all that. Derby's a big club.
Loads of them. Villa. I mean, Leeds. When I grew up,
Leeds, massive. Yeah.
But if you really want to rattle a fan base, you say their club ain't a big club. I heard O'Hara today getting absolutely his knickers in a twist.
But you used to be able to. You could pay the biggest wages. Man United could pay the biggest wages to the best players because of the amount of people they've got going through the turnstiles.
Yeah, and also...
So that's where they got their money from.
You're talking about... I mean, you can't compare Celtic and Man United.
Well...
You can't compare Rangers and Liverpool. You simply can't. It's a totally different sport. It's a completely different sphere that they operate in.
Well, money's ruined it.
Well, no, it's the global fan base. I mean, Celtic fans and Rangers fans will come on there and say, we've got supporters group all over the world. Yeah, okay, fair enough. You have that don't mean nothing because you cannot be winners of the Scottish League and not do anything in Europe, not do anything. They won the European Cup. I mean, what was that? 67? Whatever. Come on.
So going back to money again. Look what's happened with Wrexham.
Yeah.
Injection of cash. They've got to the Championship.
Yeah, but do you know what? Right, you're right. But it's not just having the money, it's how you spend it. Liverpool were, I believe, the first club in the Premier League to spend $1 billion and not win the Premier League. This is going back 10 years ago, maybe, right? First club to spend $1 billion.
What, in a season?
No. Collectively, over a period of time for the Premier League, Liverpool were the first club
To hit the billion
to
mark.
hit £1 billion. This is going back 10 years ago. To hit £1 billion without winning the Premier League. So money, just by spending money, does not guarantee you success.
No, anybody could be a big club now. If you got the richest owners in the world and they pile the money into the club,
for
anybody
Newcastle,
could be.
they are one of the richest clubs, if not, and they can't spend the money. And for me, I think it's a bit of a travesty. I think that they should be able to spend what they want. What? I don't kind of understand why they can't go in and spend the money they want. I don't get it.
Well, because we know why. Because and obviously for Villa.
But why? But then it seems incredibly unfair that then they have to sell the very lifeblood of a football club, the youth team players or the young players or the ones that look like they can go on and achieve something in the game, just to stay afloat, just to stay alive, just to stay inside the financial regulations that are set. That I'm not.
This conversation we're having about who's the biggest club has been going on for 20, 30, 40 years, right? Yeah. We had the same conversation. And it was obvious who the biggest clubs were. Now it's not obvious because money has been injected to clubs who would never even dream of getting to the top of the table.
Yeah.
Now everyone can have a go.
Well, the richest...
You can actually make a club up now. And then, you can just make a club up, can't you, in non-league? And eventually, if you pump enough money into
Wrexham is the example that you're using here, right?
Yeah.
But they still got to go and spend the money. They still got to go and get it right.
Yeah, they are, and the manager's done a great job at Wrexham. Yeah. But it look what you can achieve if you give them the funds to buy better players every season.
Of course, no, absolutely. Got to get it right though. 03717223344. Any thoughts on that? It's going to speak to Scotty, who's a Villa fan. Up the Villa, Scotty.
Hi, Scotty.
Cundy.
All right, matey.
Cundy.
All right, bud.
How are you, my man?
I'm all right, mate. Commiserations. You had a right go tonight, though.
Do you know what, though, Cundy? I kind of take so much positives out of Aston Villa there today.
Yeah.
It's anybody that knows football has to understand that's an Aston Villa side. What Emery has built from the bottom to the top, and we've lost Everton to Man United, which I'm still not happy about on the price that he went. Morgan Rogers, massive money. We can't say no to that. But then that side that has turned up against a PSG side there today, there's no Emi Martinez, there's no Ezra Konsa, there's no Ollie Watkins, and then up come and rise this young 17-year-old kid, Ryan Maggio, from nowhere. Yeah. And, mate, in that first half, that young 17-year-old, he could have had a hat-trick.
Yeah. And do you know what? On another day, on another day, you win that game. On another day, you win that game.
And you've gone there with a reserve team.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And you know what? I looked at... I listen into talkSPORT, lads. I won't get too much into it, but I drive diggers for a living, and I have talkSPORT on all day, every day, and I listen in, and I see that PSG pulled their players back a week early, just because they've got Villa there today. They've got the Super Cup, the French Super Cup on Sunday against Lens, but I don't get why does Ollie Watkins not want to play in that game there today?
Well, he would probably, but
yeah. I mean,
do you think they need 4 weeks rest then from the World Cup?
I think you've got to be careful.
Do you?
You know what
I don't know.
I think you've got to be careful because it's going to be another long season. It's going to be another long season in European football.
That's what you're a footballer.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think this competition is as important as you do, Dino. I think it's a big game. And Aston Villa fans would have loved to have won it. I don't think that this is going to be detrimental.
It's a free hit.
Yeah, I think it is a free hit. I totally agree with you.
I think it was a big trophy for Villa.
Yeah, of course it's a big trophy. I'm not saying it's not.
If you're winning Champions Leagues every year,
but
fair enough. But
lads, if we're going to be honest about men that like football, men that adore the game, as what we do, if this was a Champions League final or Europa League final, then yeah, maybe so. But the Super Cup final, it's almost classed as a free hit to clubs. And
I think it is. It's a glorified Community Shield in my. But it's a big competition. Of course, Chelsea won it. You want to go and win it when you get to the final. Of course you do. But I think there's a bigger picture here, and the bigger picture is the first game you got in the Premier League. Then don't forget, there's another international break coming up in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and by the way, he obviously knows what he's doing, Unai Emery, and he can guide a team to Europe to win things. Yeah. So, who are we to argue with him?
Totally agree. Let's go and speak to what's his name, Neil. Let's go and speak to Neil, who's a Villa fan, right, Neil? Up the Villa.
Hi, Neil.
Hello.
All right, mate.
How are you, boys?
I'm all right,
Good,
Neil.
yeah.
How are you? How big do you think this game was tonight? Is it more important than the game at, when you
Not
start the
particularly.
Premier League
I just
season?
thought it was like a
Brighton.
glorified pre-season game.
Yeah, it is a pre-season game. That's why it's played when it is. Yeah.
But I was pleasantly surprised. Well, not surprised. I was encouraged by the performance of the youngsters
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of the stalwarts of the team, which was obviously McGinn and several others.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not disappointed at all. I think we'll do fairly well this season. I think everyone's got us ending up outside the top 6 or 7. I wouldn't be surprised if we finished second or third, to be honest.
Wow. Okay. All right.
That was it was a great performance considering 6 of your best players are not there, including Tielemans and Rodgers.
Yes, of course.
And you
Not
put
just the players. You're right.
And that young lad, you won't want to play against him, would you?
No.
You look at a striker and you think,
Yeah,
I don't really want to
there
play
is something
against
about
him.
we've all young players. There's something really beautiful about watching a young player where there's no fear. Young kids come in. Engamoa at Liverpool, right? See where he's got this freedom. There's a spirit about him. Younger players go in there. They don't know what failure or defeat at a level feels like.
Well, he's played for Luxembourg 3 times. He must do. Yeah, I want to have a look at them results. We'll get.
Find out how he got on.
Find out how he. Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we're joined by Andy Brassel to get the latest transfer rumours. We are in silly season, of course, and now the transfer window is not a million miles from shutting. What clubs need to do business? 03717 223344. It's Saunders and Cundy on the Sportswear and talkSPORT. With talkSPORT Bet, download the new talkSPORT Bet app today. 18+. BeGamblerAware.org.
talkSPORT reporter Max Scott has sent the callers crazy. He has done his top 10 clubs in Britain. Have a listen if you missed it. The highlights of it are there is no Chelsea and Tottenham in the top 10. Celtic are above Arsenal. Forest are 5th above Villa in 6th. No Rangers. So let's head to the phone lines now and get your thoughts on 03717 22 3344. Clive is a Chelsea fan, and before we say it in Clive, Chelsea is a big club for me, a big, big club. Morning, Clive.
Morning, Clive.
Morning. This guy's an idiot. I mean, he's going back saying about Brian Clough and Forest. Yeah, that's what they won then. But if you go back, he's saying, I mean, I'm a Chelsea supporter and they're a big club. But saying Man City weren't big before now is ridiculous. You remember Man City in the 60s, Franny Lee, Mike Summerby, they were a big
Colin
club.
Bell.
Always a big club.
Colin Bell, yeah.
What a player. What a player. You know what I'm saying? He's picking a little bit of history. You can't say Forest are in the top 10 clubs.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Well, when I think of Clive, when I think of big clubs, I think of support, travelling support.
Yeah.
You know,
precisely.
being up there with great players and challenging Europe. Maybe not necessarily winning it, but you know, they're big clubs to me.
That's right. Yeah, big clubs. Man City's always been a big club. Chelsea's always been a big club.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam.
Good evening, it's Dean Swallows. I'm Jason, and this is the Sports Bar. Still to come on the Midnight Train. Get your calls in around about 14 minutes' time. Midnight Train to Madness. I haven't done it for a while. No sport, no politics, no religion, nothing too serious. Other than that, anything goes within reason, gang. Keep it clean. Phone up and get some advice from Dino. You might want to tell us a story, anything you want. 03717 223344. But first, it's now time to review tonight's Super Cup final with talkSPORT Bet.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. From weekly broadcast boosts to lucky dips and brilliant bet builders, bring it on at talksportbet.com. 18+gambleaware.org.
Now, as we heard live here on talkSPORT, Aston Villa were beaten 2-1 by PSG in the Super Cup earlier. But despite losing the game for Villa, a star was born in Brian Maggio. Here's Unai Emery speaking on the young stars tonight, including Maggio.
Can we hear him?
Nope. I've just had a sorry in my ear. Sorry about that. You doing it?
More or less, Brian, he started playing in Walsall, scoring 2 goals, 1 goal like today. He continued scoring goals in Porto. He scored. No, in Porto was Luca, the young players, and against teams, Real Sociedad, he scored. Brian, and he played today because he was in pre-season showing us his capacity to work in our idea, being as well demanding, because as well he's not scoring goals, it's as well how he's defending, how he's getting the commitment and discipline tactically, and he was doing, and today he did again.
And Emery there reflecting on not just Maggio, of course Hemmings, who I thought played a very impressive game, even though he is so young as well. Let's go and speak to Andy Brassell, our European football expert. Good evening, Andy. How you doing,
Evening,
bud?
Andy.
Hello, you hairy, handsome devil. How are you?
Good, man. How are you? Listen, let's talk about Brian Maggio, the youngest player to score in the Super Cup, final youngest player to play and now score, of course. How much game time do you think he's going to get at Villa? He's got Ollie Watkins, he's got Tammy Abraham, but on tonight's showing, he's got something to offer.
Yeah, I think he's maybe the one guy out there who's in favour of PSR, because the fact is Villa would probably like to go out there and spend 60, 70 million on a striker, and then you think they're in business in the Champions League and in the Premier League alike, but they can't do that. So really he's got a unique opportunity, and I guess maybe Villa fans are having the same feeling that they had when John Duran emerged. Now, look, I don't think Maggio, whatever happens to him next, is going to end up playing for 8 teams in 8 countries by the time he's 22. I would imagine it'll be a little bit calmer than that. But after the sort of can he, can't he playing saga over the last couple of months, and then having to go to CAS to get that sorted out, obviously he's chomping at the bit, and he looks ready. He gets himself into absolutely fantastic positions. He's of a physical size that you wouldn't expect from a player of that sort of age. So it feels to me like he will get plenty of game time.
Yeah, Andy, I was talking to Jason about his movement in the box, which is always a good sign. When John McGinn was trying to cross the ball, I was watching him, what movements he was getting out the defender's eye line. Back post, then coming across him, near post. His movement was excellent, which tells me he's going to get goals when he gets older, because you've either got that or you haven't.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, in terms of the finer points of his movement, you'll know better than me, given that was your job. But I think it's clear to see. You've got to get in the spot to miss those chances that he missed in the first half, and he did that really well. He wasn't shy. He wasn't discouraged when he did miss, which is a huge part of being a striker. Sometimes that's used as a stick to beat strikers. He missed a lot of chances. But you've got to get yourself in the spot in the first place to be able to do that, don't you? And the fact that he's obviously quite good at putting it out of his mind, because the goal that he scored was probably the most difficult of his chances, actually, in the first half. But they've been excited about him for a while. Metz, where he came through, is very, very good at producing players. It's a really good academy. So, I feel that he's got the right guy behind him in Unai Emery, and I think he'll do well this season.
Andy, well, we've got Talking Villa. There's lots of Villa fans listening to this. What are they doing in the transfer market? There's rumours about Endrick. Pellini is another one. I think they've just signed a left back as well. Can they be encouraged that the transfer window can still be kind to them?
Yeah, they're going to have to be smart though. I think when you were talking about Endrick and Paulinho, you're looking at guys who can either be loan or low cost in the short term, good as they are. I would really hesitate about bringing in Endrick for a number of reasons. If they can't buy him permanently, I'm not sure it's a great move for him, for Villa, or for Real Madrid. As I was saying at Trans Europe Express at the weekend, I think there are other places that would suit him a little better. Of course, a lot spoken this week about how he's got the number 9 shirt, so Real Madrid aren't going to loan him out. He had the number 9 shirt last season. It's a load of nonsense. So that's really no sort of bearing on what's going to happen next. It's no indication of what's going to happen next. There will be a squeeze in the front of the Real Madrid team, and I think from his perspective, having seen a lot of him last season at Lyon, he needs somewhere to go where he's going to play all the time, and that's when he's going to get to that sort of superstar sort of level. I think he'll just play probably some games and not others for Villa, which I don't think is really the ideal situation for him. He needs to knuckle down and learn, and he's someone with a great work ethic who's a brilliant communicator. So I would like to see him go and do that elsewhere rather than the Premier League, to be honest. Paulinho is different, I think, because obviously he was very good in a very difficult season for Spurs last season. Vincent Kompany is not the least bit interested in him, so he will leave Bayern, whether that be permanently or temporarily. And it's clear that, you know, his experience, he adds an awful lot.
Andy, moving on to Liverpool, who need bodies in the building, not just bodies, but world-class bodies, in my opinion. And the top targets, Bradley Barcola, didn't get on the pitch tonight. Is that a sign that he could be on his way to Anfield?
Well, Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the president of PSG, was asked about it afterwards, and he flat batted it. Obviously, he said, "Look, he's a PSG player, so there's nothing to say." Basically, I mean, reading between the lines, what that says is no one's close to matching the sort of fee they want for him. Now, I know a lot of people have raised their eyebrows about the amount of money that PSG are reputedly asking for him, in excess of 150 million euros. But the fact is, you know, he's at a great age. He produces a lot already. He can create and score, and he's got unbelievable pace, and he's got a massive ceiling to get better as well. You know, with the right coaching, there's a guy who's going to score you a lot of goals, and PSG have always believed that. Now, the only reason he's been bumped from the first 11 is because Kvisha Kvaratskhelia has come in, who, you know, you can make the argument is the best player in the world at the moment. He's close if he's not. Yeah. So I think the thing for me is I feel Liverpool could probably do with a right-sided attacking player. So Diamande would have been good for them. Akliush would have been good for them. Barcola will be good for them, and I think he'll be great in the Premier League. I don't know why Arsenal don't throw everything at this deal. It'd be a massive upgrade from what they've got on the left-hand side, and it would suit them perfectly.
A lot of money, but you're right. The boy has got a ceiling there. Rodri and Barcelona looks like they're going to be joining up very, very soon. What is the latest on that one?
Well, Barcelona are doing what they always do, and they've got the abacus out and are raising one chip at a time. I think it's fair to say, which, you know, they've every right to do. But everyone knows the direction it's going in. City are already well on course to looking at successors. So Ayoub Bayadi is the big one, of course. The interest in Enzo Fernandez, though, I wonder if that will be prohibitively expensive going down the line. And yeah, it's just a case of when rather than if. And you know what? It doesn't really matter how long it takes to get there. The latest we have is that Barcelona have upped their offer by 15 million euros from their opening offer, around 15 million euros, which is, you know, not an insignificant leap. So they're getting closer to what City want. I think the move would be good for them. It would be good for Rodri to prolong his career, because I think recovering from that injury has been really, really hard to do in the Premier League. It's super difficult to recover from a major injury in the Premier League when you're expected to turn out every week at high intensity. And I think City need to move on from it as well, especially with a year left if he's not going to sign again. And with him having this minor injury at the moment, there's no massive rush to do it. So I would imagine it will get done before deadline at a price that's actually suitable to everyone.
And Andy, this is an interesting one. Spurs have agreed to let Jed Spence go for, I think, less than 30 million to Inter Milan. I think it's a good deal for both, but it's a bit of a... let us into it. What's going on with this deal? Because it's a bit strange, Spurs letting him go.
I don't think it is, Dino, because let's go back to where Spurs were last season. I don't mean 17th, but in terms of the teams they were picking. And Spence was only really getting used that much when they had a ton of injuries. I think Pedro Porro's availability is a huge problem for Spence because Porro is rampantly fit and consistent. He proved just how good he was in the World Cup, so there's no way that Spence is getting past him. I think ideally they want Destiny Udogie to start on the left-hand side. And we've seen Jed Spence deserves better than being cover. He definitely deserves better than that. And I think because he had a really good World Cup, and he had a really good World Cup within the context of England not playing brilliantly, despite the fact that they got to the semi-finals. You know, I think we expected a little bit more aesthetically and in terms of performance. And really, Jed Spence stood out in that sense because he's really versatile. He can do a job for you in a load of different places. But I don't think we should get carried away and say all of a sudden, oh, he's a 50, 60 million pound player. He's not. He's a really, really good player. And he'll be great for Inter. They want to use him on the right-hand side to substitute Denzel Dumfries, who's obviously gone to Real Madrid. And they could even use him on the left-hand side to cover for Di Marco because they know he can do a good job there as well. He can play in a 4, he can play as a wing-back. He's a great signing for them as well. And we've seen English players thrive over there before. Ashley Young extended his career brilliantly over there. Of course, Jed Spence has played for Genoa before for 6 months on loan from Spurs, so he knows Serie A. So this feels like a good move all round to me.
Andy, you're a superstar. Appreciate your time,
Thanks,
bud.
Andy.
Catch up soon, mate.
Thank you, guys.
European football expert there, Andy Brasser. We are listening to Sports Bar. You're on talkSPORT with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app today for the latest odds and offers. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. Next up, though, we're hearing what Premier League footballer Jamie O'Hara has upset this week.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. From weekly broadcast boosts to lucky dips and brilliant bet builders. Bring it on at talkSportBet.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Who's winning the title?
Don't know. I don't know. I want to know what you think of this because I haven't got a clue. I really haven't. I think it's one of the most hardest calls to make we've had in recent years.
The thing is about Manchester City, I wonder without Pep how different it'll be.
Yep, and if they lose Rodri.
Exactly. You wonder what it's going to be like,
Yeah.
but then you never write them off. Arsenal, I think, look like the most complete team.
Gabriel injured though
This
for
is
5
true,
months.
For 5 months.
And Trossard going out. I don't like the Trossard sale. I really don't. I think he's such a big, influential player for them. I can't believe they've sold him.
I know, but then Guimaraes Reyes came on in.
Big signing. Like him a
exactly.
lot.
But then I also look at Manchester United and I wonder, but Chelsea, I think, Jason's right. I
Yeah.
don't think we should be sleeping on it at all.
No. We could have a 5 or 6 horse race this season.
Yeah.
That would be incredible. It really would. I don't want to see somebody run away with it.
Go on then, though. But Jason looked down the camera and delivered that it will be
Yeah,
Chelsea.
I know.
So who is it, Ben? Put your neck on the line.
I'm going to say Man United. I do. I think Man United. I think the last season's form has set into motion a style of play and an expectation of what them players have to deliver week in, week out for Manchester United.
But they've got Champions League. They're back in Champions League.
They're back in Champions League.
I think they've got enough.
I think if they can add another one or two, Man United are definitely within a shout. But they need to add 1 or 2 big uns. But the problem nowadays is if you're going to add 1 or 2 big uns, then it's 200 million quid.
Mhm.
Liverpool need a couple big uns.
However, I mean, we do know that Manchester United look like they have something left to spend.
Well, Saunders and Cundy still to come in around about half an hour's time. It's the Midnight Train to Madness. Get your calls in. If you call in now, we'll call you back. It'll be a free call. No sport, no politics, no religion, nothing too serious. Other than that, anything goes within reason. But first, my old mucker, Jamie O'Hara, has been making headlines today after his comments about Brennan Johnson and Dwight McNeil's swap deal. Here's what he and Gabby had to say earlier this week.
Brennan Johnson has been a myth.
Yeah.
For a few seasons, right? Spurs, he didn't do it at Spurs, right? I know he scored, I think, one of that seasons, he got top scorer, but just like hides in big games, hides.
As well, Jay, you look at even like both of them, like their output, mate. Last season, 16 Premier League appearances for Spurs, 2 goals, 0 assists. Then at Palace, 0 goals, 1 assist, 4 yellows in 18 Premier League appearances.
That's not good.
But then Dwight McNeil, last season, 22 appearances in the Premier League, 0 goals, 1 assist. So he's not doing enough as well. Both of them is a bit like,
I know, but
you give us him, we'll give you.
Yeah, we'll give you crap back.
Yeah, that's the boys there. I mean, look, we know Jay and Gabby well. It's the word crap. It's a bit harsh. It is a bit harsh.
Yeah, well,
isn't it?
Yeah.
And I know that we know them both very, very well. I think they just got a little bit carried away, mate.
Well, they're both Premier League footballers, and decent Premier League footballers. And Brennan Johnson scored 19 goals for Spurs. Scored a winner in a Europa League final. Yeah. He's played. I don't know how many caps he's got for Wales. Good player, and I like Dwight McNeil. Good player, but sometimes when you're on the radio like we are, and you're on that many times, your true feelings about certain players, that we all have opinions on players, sometimes it slips out your mouth. And I think it slipped out of Jamie's mouth.
It's the word. It's just. Yeah. It's the word crap.
It's
a bit. It's not a nice thing to look. Our job is to give an opinion on footballers' matches, the way games go. And sometimes we get things right, sometimes we get things wrong, sometimes we upset fans, but ultimately that's what we're paid to do, is to give an opinion. It's not analysis, is it? That's the problem.
No,
there's no doubt about it. But we saw Brennan Johnson at Forest, right? He's a exciting young player, bags of pace, right? And there's a reason Palace Spurs paid the money, because he looked like he was going to be the one to kick on again. You can make a case to say done okay at Spurs. I don't think he did badly. He moved to Palace. I find it interesting that you don't see many swap deals, by the way. You don't. This is rare. I don't remember the last time in the Premier League there was a swap deal. I can't even think of one.
No.
They are so rare. I think it was more commonplace years ago. I don't know that for a fact, but that's what it feels like. I can't remember a swap deal. I don't remember swap deals happening.
Yeah, and you're right, the word crap. They've called the two of them crap, really.
Yeah.
Like you said, our job on the radio.
Yeah, but
I've had to go at
we've all got
Unai Emery, but I'm supposed to, on the radio, I'm supposed to question things.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough.
I don't know what. Yeah, supposed to, and they could say, and there'd be people going, "He's a better manager than you, Saunders."
Yeah. Well, that's true.
I mean, that's true. But I've still got an opinion because I have managed. Yeah. I've still got an opinion.
But here's the thing: where Brennan Johnson's, he's come out and said one more trophy than these two put together, which he's come out and I think maybe a bit tongue in cheek from his point of view. I think there was a laughing emoji attached to it.
Yeah, take that, you two.
There you go. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, boys. Okay, it's now time for this. Yes, the rest of talkSPORT, where we're running you through some of the recent highlights moments across our network. Let's kick things off with the breakfast show where Alan Mazzell and Gabby Agbelhor were joined by Virgin Radio's Chris Evans. They discussed the risk of watching the solar eclipse without the right goggles.
I heard you at the start of the show talking about the solar eclipse.
Oh, yeah.
And sunglasses.
Yeah.
Sunglasses aren't enough.
Oh, really?
You've got to have your solar eclipse glasses.
I mind you, but you're into that now, aren't you? It's Mr. Health. You have changed over the last few years.
None of us want to go blind at 6 o'clock tonight, Al.
You're not going. You're listening to all the hype again. You're not going to go blind. Be careful, but you're not going to go boom. Your eyes are not going to blow up.
Not looking at
the real Brazil is back. There he is. Look, we lit his fire.
I'm sick of people driving stuff in my head, which is a load of tosh.
Big Al, so good to see Big Al. But I was away on holiday when he returned, and I caught up a little bit on social media, and the love for him from coming back, it was lovely to read, actually. and the bits are out. And I messaged him saying, "Look, welcome back. Sorry I can't be there. Hope bumping you soon." But he's just watching and listening to him there. That's the Alan Brazil we love,
and
that's the big fella we love.
I don't know if you noticed, because he's been off for so long, he has a rapport with every guest that comes on, and Shaban, and Gabby, and whoever's on with him.
Yeah.
He somehow has a rapport and manages to get involved in situations like that, which is brilliant. He gives a different angle on it.
He does. Yeah. When was the last time you saw a full moon? Do you know what? Talk to full moons. Do you see that Villa fan when they scored?
Oh.
Did you see that? We got it here, actually.
Oh.
In the...
Let's have a look. Oh. I can't believe I said let's have a look.
It's not the best angle in the world.
Fair play.
Is that a crack on the screen?
Yeah. They couldn't get the camera off him quick enough.
No, they couldn't. Yeah, it happened so quickly, didn't it? Down come the pants. I think his mate might have tried to smack his bum. I think that might have
How many times you watched it, Jace? You would be careful.
I've only watched it the once.
Now you got your new haircut.
What intrigues you more? This is what's written down here. What intrigues you more, a black hole or Uranus?
What intrigues me more? No comment.
By the way, I watch some of this stuff that Brian Cox puts out, and do you love Cox? He's brilliant. No, he is fab. I'm telling you now.
There's a few nice Cox out there. Arthur Cox.
I love Cox.
Arthur Cox.
No, I mean,
Brian Cox.
Wasn't he your manager?
Arthur Cox was my manager.
He was your manager at Derby, wasn't he?
Yeah.
By the way, any stuff I see on social media of Brian Cox, there's this black hole that's out there somewhere, right? Out, like gazillions of light years away. And this thing, it's amazing, everyone, right? It swallows up everything. I swear.
You're going too far now.
No, it does, mate. This black hole. We're going to speak to Loungy later on, right? We might even ask him about that black hole. But space is nuts.
Do you think you'll ever go to space?
Who, Loungy?
No, you. Do you think they'll ever make the flights cheap enough?
What, commercial
to take us up there?
Well, they've already done it, haven't they? Didn't they stick Kim Kardashian? Who went up there? Katy Perry, wasn't it? She went up there.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of like 180 quid or something like that.
What, like
EasyJet? Yeah.
EasyJet.
Something like that. I'm not giving them an advert, by the way.
I don't think that in our lifetime it'll be affordable. I think it'll be like the billionaires.
What about the little sergeant majors that are at the gate when you get on EasyJet? Their sole job is to say that your bag's too big to take on the plane.
Oh, they love a bit of that, don't they?
40 quid, please. Hang on a minute.
What would you do?
I went to Belfast last year. I think it was maybe year before.
Yeah.
So I took my bag over on the plane.
Yeah.
Right? They let me go on.
Yeah.
One of them little travel bags.
Yeah.
That is sold on that premises that you can take it on the plane.
They say that when you say it's EasyJet friendly or Ryanair friendly.
And you can get it under the seat. And then on the way back...
Hold on. It's not the one you stick in the overhead locker.
Smaller than that.
Right, okay, go on. So we had their problems with
it. So on the way over, I got it on the plane, and on the way back, I got pulled over by a little sergeant major woman.
Pulled over?
Pulled over and said, "Excuse me, can you fit your bag in that little matchbox that they...
Oh, they do. They
sort of like screw it together, don't they, just before you get there? Make it smaller and smaller." And there she is with a card machine.
Did you
got the card machine? Tap there, 40 quid. Tap there. Or I went, well, hang on a minute. And she goes to me, "Do you want to get on the flight or not?" So what do you do then?
You got to shut up.
Yeah.
You got to shut up because you no, off your pop.
My flight was 25 quid, 40 quid to get my bag on.
Gabby and Jeff are back tomorrow morning with breakfast from 6 o'clock. Then you've got to read that, mate.
I've got to read what?
You've got to read the next bit.
Oh, well, give us a clue.
It's got your name there, Dino, it says.
Moving on to White and Jordan, and it was Shaban and Ben Foster sitting in for Jim and Simon today, tackling the most important topics ever on the show.
They were taking the mick out of your outfit. You look $1 million, by the way.
Thank you, Ben.
Don't listen to anything they've said, all right?
That's what I'm saying. You come in here at whatever time in the morning and you'll just get abused for pelters. And they always go from outfits. And then I look at these two and I'm like,
the state of them.
Like they're Gok Wan.
You got Gabby walking out.
State of them.
With sweaty forehead. He's got his horrible glasses on so he can see the eclipse later on. I don't know where they're coming from.
And then Colonel Mustard and it's bright yellow shirt. I mean, I've missed Alan, don't get me wrong, but I've not missed that T-shirt.
Are they having a pop at Shaban's dress?
Yeah, well, you know, Shaban.
I think Shaban looks
She
bad.
looks like she's doing an audition for Strictly Come Dancing. I know she's trying to get on there. She's trying to get on there, Shaban.
Look, we're talking about one of, you know, how many heat waves have we had? We're talking about one of the hottest summers ever on record.
Yeah.
You know, Shaban can do that.
I'm not having to go to Shaban's outfit.
No, I know you're not.
She's always polite to me.
Yeah, Shaban.
She always says, "That's a nice shirt, Dino. That's a nice."
Is that why? Is it?
Yeah. So I say, "That's a nice dress."
Shaban is back tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, with Steve Bruce alongside her. You are listening to Sports Bar here on talkSPORT.
Honestly, I've seen a few messages today and you go, yeah, that Haaaaas and Gabby are talking rubbish, need to get rid of them. You know, Rory talks sense. I'm like, having a laugh.
Yeah, that was me. That was me saying that. Yeah. I've been commenting. I've been, God, those two have been terrible. Look at those two giggling away.
Brennan Johnson, listen, fair play to him. He had a little bite. And that's fine. Got no problem with a player having a bite back because it's all part and parcel of working in the media, being a footballer. You're going to take criticism. He obviously didn't like the fact we said it was crap for crap. What he didn't realise, and I'm sure...
That's weird of him, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously he's not going to like that. But, you know, it was only a bit of a laugh. But, you know, I get it. People are going to... You get the ump with things. I've been called crap plenty of times. Get called crap every single day of the week. Don't take it personal. All right? It is what it is. He has been crap.
Yeah, I think that's
like,
the point.
I'm sorry, but, you know, like, I'm not saying he's a bad player. Anyone who plays Premier League football, anyone who does what he's done, fair play. Brilliant. Last season, Brennan Johnson was crap.
Yeah.
He would be the first to admit it. And hopefully he goes to Everton and he does all right. And Dwight McNeil goes the other way. I like Dwight McNeil. I think he's a good player. His stats is what we were talking about on the show, me and Gabby, were crap.
Yeah.
So there's no apology needed. I know Gabby bottled it like he always does.
He blamed you. He said it was you.
He tried to throw me under the bus. Not the first time. Won't be the last. You know, but I'll stand by it. Yeah. Like... I think against Brennan Johnson.
I think you're right.
He's got all the attributes to be a decent player.
Yeah, I think
last
you're
season he was crap.
Why are we playing this? Why are we playing this?
Tonight. Bonnie Tyler.
Yeah, why are we playing a bit of Bonnie?
Welsh legend.
Yeah, why
passed away.
Why are we playing? Well, yeah, she did. She passed away not long ago, a couple of months ago.
Not long ago. And do you know what? My mum used to do her hair for her.
Did she?
Yeah, she's from Skewing, which is just the top of Swansea, nearly in Neath.
Right, okay.
Yeah, my mother used to do her hair. My mother was a hairdresser, as you can see by my bonnet. And she's listening tonight, actually, my mum. So giving...
Mummy Saunders.
Her name was Gaynor.
Yeah.
Not Bonnie Tyler.
Oh, okay.
Her real name was...
Yeah.
So...
Did you ever meet her?
Yeah. I met her a few times. Yeah. And her husband, right, was, I think he went in the Commonwealth Games as a wrestler, judo.
Okay,
Sorry,
right.
judo.
Right.
Yeah, I think he was Welsh champion. But sadly, she passed away.
She did.
A couple of weeks ago, and
Wasn't that long ago?
big loss for Wales, because we've got a lot of good Welsh singers.
Yeah, haven't you? Yeah,
Shirley
yeah.
Bassey,
Yeah,
Tom
yeah.
Jones,
Yeah, yeah.
Duffy,
Yeah.
Charlotte Church,
Yeah.
Catherine Jenkins, Stereophonics.
Keep going.
Keep going.
No, don't keep going, because we got.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Yes, we're playing Total Eclipse of the Heart, of course, because there was an eclipse tonight. Don't know if you know that out there, gang. Yes. Okay, it's now time for this, the Ralph Ellis Back Pages. Yes, that music means only one thing. It is the Ralph Ellis Back Pages. Joining us now is Simon Johnson from The Athletic. Simon!
Hi, Simon.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
I'm all right, matey. How are you? You well?
I am bit toasty. Played a round of golf in the heat today.
Look after yourself, mate. Wear a cap.
Where did you play?
Do you know Pine Ridge, Dean?
Pine Ridge, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's in Frimley. It's my go-to place.
Nice.
Very nice.
Well, make sure you wear a cap, mate. All right?
No, he's got the cream on the top of his head.
Well, what's going on?
What do you think of Jason's hair, by the way?
Seething with jealousy. I keep talking to Jay about whether there's a sort of a mates race, but he keeps telling me that they'd probably have to put me in the chair for about 6 months to sort this out.
You're not a miracle worker.
It's gone too far, yours now, Simon. It's gone too far. You can't come back from that.
I think that ship has sailed.
The past the point of no return. Yes.
Listen, let's crack up with the back page. The back page of the Star City's £70 million hot rod.
Yeah, a story by Jeremy Cross that Man City sort of understandably playing hard ball with Barcelona over the signing of their sort of star midfielder Rodri. That there was an initial offer of £39 million rebuffed. Barcelona now sort of preparing a second offer worth £55 million plus £5 million in add-ons. But Man City have got a £70 million valuation. They're sticking to it, and understandably so. Yes, he may be 30, he may be approaching the latter part of his career, but as we keep seeing, when he does put on a shirt, he's still got it. He's still top class, and Barcelona sort of made a big sort of song and dance that they're going to sign him, and Man City is saying, well, if you want him, you're going to have to pay for him.
Fair enough.
And then on the Times, we've got Joe Root has said, be adults to his players. He scraps the curfew. That's caused all sorts of problems. And I remember thinking, as being a manager myself, you got Ben Stokes and McCallum probably said to the players already, listen, don't let me down. If we say 12 o'clock, be in by 12 o'clock. So I think he's done the right thing.
Yeah, of course, Joe Root, this is his second stint as captain and in terms of permanent captain. And this is the subject that just refuses to go away. And of course, big reason for that, not just the Ashes and what happened there with players doing all sorts with and accusations of a drinking culture. There was, of course, essentially the demise of Ben Stokes going out after the end of the first test. Was there a curfew? Wasn't there a curfew? Essentially, it's brought about his downfall, the fact he was out drinking with Gus Atkinson. So Joe Root asked, well, what do you think about curfews and so on? He goes, I don't believe in them. I quite like Joe Root because I don't really think this needs to be a big deal, to be honest. It's just classic Joe Root, really, sort of very sort of nonsense. And he's sort of making the point, look, we asked the players to sort of be grown-ups on the pitch and therefore they should be trusted to be grown-ups off the pitch. What I want to say, guys, is that this would not be an issue if England were winning cricket matches. So if England won the Ashes, no one would care what the England players did. Remember 2005 when Kevin Peterson and Andy Flintoff looked a little like they'd had a tipple or two to celebrate. No one cared because we'd won the Ashes. So look, if England get back to winning matches, no one cared. No one will worry about what England players are doing after hours.
A story that's circulating on a lot of the back pages about Lionel Messi. Sadly, his dad passed away recently. He says he's unsure about his future. Does this mean club, international, or both?
Yeah, this could be the possible retirement of Lionel Messi. It's a very heartfelt message that he put out on Instagram, talking about the loss of his father, his beloved father, who's been with him the whole time. every step of the way of his remarkable career. Died sadly at the age of 68 after long illness, and Lionel Messi says, I have quite a few doubts about whether he carries on playing. He says, just to read a few more lines, I don't know what I'm going to do without you, he says. I don't know how to move forward. And he says, why couldn't you hold on just a little longer so we could finish it together? I mean, it's real hard, understandably, that the guy's in mourning.
Yeah.
He's 39. He plays for Inter Miami. He had a great World Cup with Argentina, but of course he's going to be 43 for the next World Cup. What else does he have to prove? And I think everyone should just allow him to mourn in private and then come to his own decision when he's good and ready.
Absolutely. So, anything else on the Athletic? What's keeping you guys busy at the moment?
Well, I don't know whether you've talked about this already, lads, but the Enzo Fernandez Manchester City Willy Won't He affair broke only a few hours ago. That Chelsea have put in this deadline of Friday 5 o'clock. Either pay up or don't, and he stays. I think Chelsea is totally understandable, this stance, that they don't want any risk of the start to the season being unsettled by this dragging on for the rest of the month. Everyone's known that Chelsea have got this £120 million valuation. I think it's a fair valuation given he's World Cup winner, and then you compare, Man City paid 116 for Elliot Anderson. He hasn't got a World Cup medal in his back pocket. So I think Chelsea are entitled to ask for this, and they're sort of saying, well, you've known the price since May. Why is it taking this long to make a decision? So I think the next 48 hours is going to be very interesting to see if Man City actually do find that £120 million to convince him to stay.
How does this work, Si? How does this? Because Chelsea have come out. How is this it's not an official statement, right? But how do they just say to City, this is it, or they leak it to you guys so that they can say, how does it work?
But they've communicated this to Manchester City and to his agent. Right. And of course, we have also become aware that this is the state of play as journalists covering the Chelsea beat. So yeah, this Fernandes saga has felt like it's dragged on for months. I think deep down Chelsea would be absolutely delighted. They're in a bit of a win-win situation.
Yeah, I hear you.
They'll either keep Enzo Fernandez or they get 120 million. But I think they'd prefer at this late stage that they keep Enzo Fernandez and feel that under Xavi Alonso he can actually kick on. I mean, Alonso sort of world-class midfielder in his time. The chance for him to polish Enzo Fernandez into more of a sort of consistent performer in the Premier League, I think is something that they're very excited about.
So you've been brilliant, matey. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks,
pleasure, guys.
Catch up later. Simon Johnson there from the Athletic with Ralph Ellis back pages. Okay, coming up next, it's the Midnight Train to Mandas. You guys know what to do. No calls, no train. Do not leave myself and Dino here with no calls because it won't work. Simple. Pick up the phone, dial 03717 223344, and you can talk about whatever you want within reason. No sport, no politics, no religion, nothing too serious. Other than anything goes. You can tell us about what your weekend looks like. You might have been on holiday. You might have a romance problem, right? Now, I've got my man to the left there, Dean Saunders. He's your man you want to speak to about a romance problem. You'll come up with some advice, Dino, won't you?
No. But just before you forget...
Dino, you've got to.
No,
yes.
I'm not... Yeah,
no,
yes, I'll try my best.
No,
I'm not an expert, but I'll try my best.
Yeah.
But... I've got to remind you of what you were going to say earlier.
What was I going to say?
The linesman kept his flag down tonight, and you've not mentioned it.
Oh, no, I haven't, have I?
No.
Well, Darren Fletcher was on the comms, right?
Yeah.
So Darren Fletcher said, and when it was the Desiree Doué goal, right?
Yeah, when his second goal.
And he's gone through, and then as the flag has gone up, as they do, they allow play to go on, and Darren Fletcher did say, I'm paraphrasing along the lines of when are they going to get rid of this sham or something like that, about putting flags up. And the reason they do it is for this very reason. This is the reason that they allow play to go on, is because he was onside. Now, the linesman can get it wrong, and he did get it wrong eventually, but the reason they allow play to go on, and the VAR can check it, is for this very, very reason. And it just goes to show, it does work. It does work, and it was the right thing to do. The linesman kept his flag down, waited for the outcome. He scores,